Hey friends, it's Professor Lyrics back with another reaction and lyrical analysis. Today I am proud to present Alanis Morissette's 1995 hit, You Oughta Know. I'm familiar with her other song about irony, being ironic, but I don't think I know this one, so I'm eager to dig in. If you like what I do here, please hit the like and describe button on our journey to 1,000 describers. Alright, class is in session.
I want you to know that I'm happy for you. I wish nothing but the best for you both.
Yeah, guys, quick pause right off the bat. I think it's nice to hear a positive message here. I think a lot of times songs these days especially are about revenge or getting back at an ex or a lover. And this sounds like a good upbeat message from Alanis Morissette. It says back in 1995, we've got to remember, so it's been a while, but good start.
I know the version of me. Is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater? Does she speak eloquently? And would she have your baby? I'm sure she'd make a really excellent mother. 'Cause the love that she gave every day wasn't able to make it up for you to be open wide. No. And every time you speak her name, does she know how you told me you hope till you died, but you're still alive, and I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you did to me. You ought to know.
Okay, guys, I take it back. This is about revenge. There's some anger here, but it's whimsical. It's fun. This is a old school VCR talking to a newer version. And I think it's a DVD player VCR combo. This is 1995. I'll try to dig up some stock photography if you weren't around back then or don't know what I'm talking about. This is a very niche subject, but an important one. And let me explain. This is going to get a little detailed. An older version of me was my first clue. That's electronics talk. An older version, for example, what iPhone do you have? The iPhone 9, an older version. Pretty obvious. Is she perverted like me? I think that's an allusion to watching pornography. Can this new DVD VCR combo also provide pornography to whoever's watching it? That's all that could mean. Would she go down on you in a theater? That's theater mode, guys. That's all that could possibly mean. Automatic volume adjustment, having theater mode. So this old VCR is probably kind of a cutting edge VHS VCR for way back in the time and could have theater mode, but it doesn't know this new one is actually a newer version, not an older version. I think the newer one, the combo, is probably bulkier. So the old school VCR assumes it's an older version, but it's actually a newer version and does have theater mode. Would she speak eloquently? Does she have good speakers? Would she have your baby? So this is kind of the opposite of an older version. I think the VCR is saying, will you have a next generation? Will you have a new thing coming? So in that example, the iPhone 12, the baby would be the iPhone 13. So it's a very jilted VCR talking to this new DVD VCR combo. I'm sure she'd make a really excellent mother. So that's an allusion to just sitting a kid in front of a TV all day and having it watch either VHS tapes or DVDs, cartoons, learning shows, whatever it may be. Kind of a little whimsical allusion to that, calling it an excellent mother. The VCR feels like it's mothering a small child. And then it goes into kind of that quick chorus. Wasn't able to make it enough for you to be open wide, no. So I think we'll get to this, but I think the new owner of the DVD VCR combo kind of stacked the old VCR on top and it wouldn't open wide because it's a top loading VCR. The VHS tape goes in the top, but if you set this on top of it, the old thing, you know how you just stack old electronics on top of each other, it couldn't open wide. It wouldn't function. And that's going to cause problems for sure. Because does she know how you told me you'd hold me until you died, but you're still alive? So I think the owner was saying, here, you'll sit on top of this thing, and maybe if it dies, we'll use you again. And I think the old school VCR has been moved, which maybe it'll get to in the song. And it's saying, hey, you're still alive. You're still functioning. I was supposed to be sitting on top of you out in the living room or wherever. You're still alive. And I'm here to remind you of the cross I bear that you gave to me. So I think actually what happened here was the new VHS DVD combo from kind of sitting beneath the VCR messed it up because they get really hot, especially back in the 90s. It probably overheated and the VCR no longer works. The old school one, I think when they try to play a VHS tape, there's a cross on the TV or some sort of lines. And it's from this new DVD player. And obviously, the VCR is very angry about that. You ought to know, you ought to admit that you're the one who broke me. You gave me crosses on the TV. There's like sometimes scrolling that happened with these old school VHS players. It's a bad scene. It is a revenge song, but kind of whimsical. Niche subject matter. I like that.
You seem very well. Things look peaceful. I'm not quite as well. I thought you should know. Did you forget about me, Mr. Duplicity? I hate to bug you in the middle of dinner. There was a slap in the face. How quickly I was replaced. And are you thinking of me when you fuck her?
Yeah, guys, I wasn't expecting that. I apologize. Not so much the profanity. It's not really making sense to me right now, kind of having coitus with an electronics thing. I'll think it through. The profanity did startle me a little bit. I apologize. I think we're back up and running. Let's back up and I'll try to make sense of that profanity. I like it. I mean, I liked it. It just caught me by surprise a little bit. You seem very well. Things look peaceful. I'm not quite as well. I thought you should know. Mr. Duplicity, did you forget about me? Mr. Duplicity, that's our biggest clue yet, that this is a DVD VHS combo. Duplicity, they can do both. And this VHS VCR is very jealous and kind of calls it, oh, Mr. Duplicity, look at you, big and mighty. I hate to bug you in the middle of dinner. I think maybe the owner has gone back to trying to just play a VHS tape during dinner. So kind of apologizing, hey, look at me, I'm being used again. It was a slap in the face how quickly I was replaced. That's pretty straightforward. You know, it didn't take long. They got this shiny new thing. You messed me up, and they replaced me like that. And are you thinking of me when you F her? I mean, I hope the owner is not trying to have coital relations with a DVD VCR combo. I honestly can't think of how that would work. I mean, I'm sure there are ways. More likely it's not literal. Maybe it's F her over, like maybe the DVD's skipping. That's probably what it is. These DVD players were no bargain either back in the day. It's probably skipping or malfunctioning. And this crass and jilted, frankly, VHS player is saying, are you thinking of me when you F her over? How good I was? I didn't do that sort of thing. I'm not here to kink shame. It could be literal, but if it is, that's okay. Yeah, guys, quickly, I just realized another clue. The mess that you made when you went away. that VCR had been sitting there forever. And you know, when you like pick things up to move them underneath, the entertainment center or whatever, there's probably dust, there's crumbs, who knows what's down there, an M&M or two. Sounds like there's a kid in the equation. So that's our biggest clue yet. This VCR left a mess when it went away. Mellowing out. It's creeping me out a little, honestly. Yeah, guys, kind of a happy ending there, kind of a compromise. Let's go back and kind of suss it out. So I think the VCR has been moved to the bedroom, perhaps the bed itself. So I think that's a bit of a win. You know how sometimes something will break and you'll move it to the bedroom instead of having it out in the main living room. So as soon as you close your eyes, it's not going to fade, and you know it. I think that the owner of the VCR has moved it to the bedroom and watches it at night. And there's no automatic shut off. So the guy will fall asleep and he's like, I'm going to keep going. The bedroom's going to be light. You know it. Every time I scratch my nails down someone else's back, I hope you feel it. That's the literal rotors inside the VCR. The old school VCR and VHS tape would have kind of teeth inside of the rotors to move the spool around. That's scratching its nails down someone else's back. And this VCR hopes that the DVD combo can feel it. That's what that means. Still a lot of anger, and then just the chorus reiterating, it left a mess behind. He's not going to forget that. The VCR has a cross kind of across the TV, good enough for the bedroom perhaps, not the living room. A lot of anger, and that probably happens, if electronics had brains and feelings. When you move on from one to the other, it's very sudden, and there's a lot of animosity. And I think Alanis Morissette kind of identified that. And it's an important topic, a bit whimsical, but niche and important. So in conclusion, Alanis Morissette's You Oughta Know from 1995 is a pretty complex song about a VCR that was perhaps ruined and then replaced by the latest gadget, the VCR DVD player combo. VCR is eventually moved to the bedroom where it's still used sometimes, but it holds a lot of resentment, a lot of anger towards this shiny new object that has made it into the living room, even though it left a mess behind when it was moved. Important song. Thank you, Alanis Morissette. Profanity was interesting. I still don't know if that's literal or not. If it is, that's okay.